Okay, we are live. Queuing up the theme song. And here we go.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah.
It's a new experience.
Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. You got a question
For RLN.
It's time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we getting
real.
Time to get down. You gonna feel good now.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I am your host, global happiness specialist, inner peace practitioner, oracle, mother, fitness instructor, did I say Reiki practitioner? But most importantly, a student, ongoing, always learning, always growing, always getting to another level of consciousness and awareness. And all I'm doing here is sharing with whoever is interested, whoever is inspired to listen, how to experience more happiness along the journey. My favorite quote from Abraham is, "You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey." And it is all about the journey and how do you navigate? Is it possible, scratch that, is it possible to maintain and sustain an energy of contentment? Which, AKA happiness. And when I talk about happiness, I'm not talking about, oh, something happens and now I'm happy. What I'm talking about is maintaining a personal vibration of peace, a personal vibration of contentment. All of it, happiness to me is an energy, and how to vibrate that energy of contentment. And the good news is everybody, is that it's a practice skill. Like all other skills, it's just a practice. Today is the 7th game of the NBA. And how did these people get here? Practice. From being an athlete to being a musician, a speaker, a writer, a landscaper, a technician, a AI expert. It's just practice. And this is the same thing, holding on to, scratch the holding on to, but being that energy, being rooted in the energy of contentment is a practice. And when I talk about practice skills, my latest book, it's called Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. And in this book, I list 56. I'm actually up to 58 now, but after the book was published, I discovered 2 more. 56 program behaviors that subtract from a person's happiness, the energy of contentment, peace, and they are a programming. And one of the biggest one of the biggest programs, and it drives Rebecca, the human Rebecca, the happiness specialist Rebecca, up a wall, because it's just a programming. And that is believing that that your legacy will last forever. And the thing about the world, the masses, the world sells dissatisfaction. SELLS, sells dissatisfaction. You know what else the world sells? And I'm talking about the gurus from the guru, not all, of course, but someone's always selling. People are selling something, and one of the popular sells is leaving a legacy. And the ego, the human, the mind believes, yeah, I want to leave a legacy. Well, I'll tell you right now, one of the beliefs and behaviors that subtracts from your happiness, contentment, peace is relying on the ego to tell you the truth. And the practice is knowing the difference between Rebecca and the mind, Rebecca's mind, the ego, and knowing the difference between that and I can't think of another word other than higher, an elevation of a transcending Rebecca, transcending this human. I hear this all the time. Well, yeah, we're human. Of course, I'm human. Do you worry? Well, yeah, everybody worries because you're human. No, you worry because you were programmed to worry. And this believing, I don't know why I'm yelling at you right off the bat. And this believing that a legacy is important. A legacy is what is a want or desire is just another smoke screen. But I got into the topic before I did a proper introduction. And when I say happiness specialist, this is please note that what I mean is that I've been studying, researching, focused on prioritizing, making a commitment to this energy called contentment, happiness, peace for over 45 years. 45 years. That's a long time. And what I've learned is, and I'm not pretending to have all the answers, but what I've learned is what to practice. And the first thing, the first component to experiencing more happiness is prioritizing the energy of contentment and happiness and peace. Let me ask you a few questions. Hold on a second. Where are my questions? Let me ask you a few questions, my dear audience. Oh, here they are. Number one, can other people hurt your feelings? Either answer yes or no. Can other people offend you? Can other people disappoint you? Do you blame other people for how you feel? Do you blame your circumstances for how you feel? There's nothing wrong with accomplishments, titles, wealth, accolades, fame, trophies, awards, social media likes, or amassing millions of followers, being famous. But it's time to tell the truth. None of those mentioned, none, absolutely zero, has any effect, has any bearing on how happy or how content an individual can vibrate. Now, one of the things that I practice on a moment by moment, a daily, hourly basis is knowing the difference between awareness, presence, consciousness, and this human level of existence. And when I say I, and when Rebecca focuses on being human, and when Rebecca, scratch that focuses, when Rebecca is responding or behaving and has the beliefs of human, then of course, then all of the external things that happen are going to affect. So the practice is to be rooted in what I know, believe, my real identity, scratch the identity, my real identity, the truth that all of this that I'm experiencing on this very short time on this planet, it will be over in a blink of an eye. In fact, it is a dream, and one of these days soon, because I'm in the fourth quarter, the fourth stage, 69 years old, 69. Shh, don't tell anybody. 69 years old. I'm in the fourth quarter. And one of these days, I'm going to wake up out of this illusion, out of this dream, out of this time, this physical experience of being reincarnated on this planet. One of these days, sooner than later, I'm going to wake up and know, and it was all a dream. So getting back to today's topic, the illusion of believing that a legacy that you will be remembered. Now listen, this is one of the reasons why I don't have any friends. No one wants to hear, scratch that. The ego doesn't want to hear how insignificant and how powerless it is. The ego doesn't want to hear, the mind doesn't want to know that Rebecca isn't going to obey and act out all of its requests. See, Rebecca has desires and wants, but when I don't identify with this Rebecca, and if I can do it, you can do it. When I practice not identifying with Rebecca, I promise you, my dear audience, life slows down. The vibration, the energy is at a steady ease, calm, peaceful, just it is really indescribable. And I don't care what is happening. It doesn't matter anything external, whether I get a health diagnosis that wasn't expecting, financial relationships with loved ones. It really comes down to putting a spotlight on the program that says or has all of these beliefs. It is the programming, it is the thoughts, it is the stories that I tell myself. When I say I tell myself, it is the thoughts of the stories that are the reason for any discomfort, suffering, and unrest. Not the experience itself. It is the perception. It is the perspective of and making a judgment on what I'm experiencing. Oh, this is good or this is bad. There is no good or bad. It just is. Good or bad is another program. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to ask you, how important is this energy of happiness? Is this energy of contentment? Is this energy, personal vibration of peace to you? How important is it? Let me get to today's topic. Oh, but before I do that, what I always share at the beginning of the class, I've been teaching the Truth About Happiness classes for over 15 years now, probably more, in California, in Oregon, and now in Nevada. And so one of the things that the first day of class, I ask the students, how important is happiness to you? And if you say from 1 to 10, and if you say it's a 10, then your behavior needs to reflect that. And again, happiness isn't about, oh, I'm happy and I could sustain happiness. And it's not about not feeling emotions. It's about feeling all of it, but not attaching a story as to why. It's about feeling all of the emotions. It's about feeling all of the feelings without attaching a judgment and without attaching an expectation, or even just as important, without attaching a preference, to your feelings and a preference to your emotions. Ooh, that's a lot. So let me get to today's. This is what I wanted to say. There's a famous study. It's called The 5 Most Common Regrets of the Dying. And it was done by a hospice nurse. Her name is Bronnie Ware. And she asked her patients, and these people had days, weeks, months to live. What are the 5 biggest regrets? 5 biggest regrets. In fact, I'm going to ask you, my dear audience, do you have any regrets right now? I don't know whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, do you have any regrets? Question. Pause. So the hospice patients were asked this question, and the nurse kept getting the same answers, these 5 answers over and over and over again. Number 1, I wish I had pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me. Number 2, I wish I didn't work so hard. Number 3, I wish I had the courage to express myself and speak my mind. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Number 5, I wish I had let myself be happier. And that's where I come in. If you ask me, this journey is an up and down roller coaster ride. You never know what's going to happen. And in fact, life is about it is a ride. It is a ride of uncertainty. It is a ride of surprises. It is a ride of emotions. And how do I practice maintaining contentment throughout this sometimes bumpy ride? And the practice is to trust and know that everything that is happening for a reason. Everything that is happening is purposeful. But let me get to today's topic. Look at this, 20 minutes in, and I haven't even gotten to the topic. Now, this is one of the reasons why this is a tough, not easy practice. And the reason for that is because the programming goes so deep. The human programming is so deep. Humans actually scratch that human. The programming even says that a person can be disrespected. The programming even says that someone else can hurt your feelings. The programming says that a narcissist, what's labeled, which is a big judgment, a narcissist is worse. A narcissist personality is worse than because what's the opposite of a narcissist? A victim. So there's either, I talk to so many people, and it's very, very rare that I talk to people that are able to turn the mirror around and look at themselves and get to a point where they know that they have the power to practice something different, to make changes and to eliminate the programming. It is the programming. So back to, and if you want to know what triggers or pushes a happiness specialist button, is the masses blaming anything external for how they're feeling, blaming the world, blaming the circumstances, having hate for people people that they've never met. It always comes back to you perceive the world the way you are. You perceive the world based on what's going on inside of you. Oh, that hurts. Your perception is an example. Your perception is an example of what's going on inside. Your perspective is an example of what's going on inside. And when I say inside, I'm the inside of here. And so when people ask me, if they do, how do you view the world? Well, the practice is not to make a judgment. The sun shines on the serial killer and the Pope. God, the universe, is living through, is having a human experience through me. And apparently, the universe, source, wants to experience all of this, what the human would say is turmoil or evil. Or I know it's not easy. It's not easy to grasp. It's not easy to explain. But if it's happening, there is a reason for it. There is a purpose for it. But back to the legacy. And again, this is not this is not said, this is not shared, because the masses believe that a legacy is important, that a legacy is something that that a legacy is worth working for. I don't care what kind of statue that is erected, face carved into a mountain, books written about. Unless you are a historian, whether it's a sports, whether it is about history, whether it's about biology, scratch the biology. Unless you are a historian, you will be forgotten. The future. I mean, let's look back. How many of you? Now, I'm not, and this isn't all. This is just some, not all. Scratch that some. Most, not all. And when I say most, I'm talking about program people, because 98% of the population, oh, this hurts. 98% of the population is programmed, and their behaviors are programmed, and their beliefs are programmed. 98% of the population. I still have my programs. Don't think that I've eliminated all of them, but I definitely recognize when, there's another program. There's another deep-seated program that I've had since who knows how long, how many decades. Back to selling a legacy. Now, unless the legacy, unless the teachings, unless, this is my perspective, unless it is the words or the create, when I say creation, I'm talking about books. It is about truth, and that, Buddha, Confucius, Jesus, David Hawkins, Eckhart Tolle, and my favorite teacher now is Mooji, Mooji. If you haven't heard of him, YouTube, just search. He's got a channel on YouTube. The truth about this journey will, Alan Watts, it's another person, will remain. Truth, how do I say this? Truth lasts forever. Is sustained. Truth. Gravity, if you drop something from a building, it'll fall. Truth. Undisputed facts, undisputed truth, that remains. There's no disappearing. There's no getting rid of that. That is truth is a legacy. I don't even know if that makes sense. But everything else is going to disappear eventually. Everything. And if you scratch that, when I started practicing letting go of this program, that this is serious, this is important, What's happening is serious. Was going. It's so serious. When I started practicing letting go of that illusion that there is nothing serious and there is nothing important, that this is all meaningless, and one day or one time, one moment in time, in fact, time is an illusion too. Some people share that time is all happening at the same time, the present, the past, the future, the same time. You see how complicated, however, how simple all of it is? And the programming complicates all of it. The analyzing, the overanalyzing, the whys, and such a, I'm not going to say waste of time because people are into that, but it sure is a waste of my time. There's no such thing as wasting time. How's that? Okay, where am I? Oh, back to this legacy, the leaving a legacy and the illusion of leaving a legacy. That is all ego-based, mind-based, and the ego needs to know and believe that what I'll speak for myself, I'm doing on this planet is important. It's going to make a difference. I'm changing lives. I'm inspiring other people to be happy. I'm inspiring other people to be happier. I'm making a difference. I'm changing the world. Well, how about this? The truth is, my vibration, my personal vibration, is my contribution to the planet. Not personal vibration. At least that's my belief. Let me look at a couple of these. Hold on a second. I don't know why that goes. The mic stops working. Hold on.
Janice Stanley.
Okay, so hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hey, sister, let me call you back in 5 minutes, okay? Okay, bye. How's that for a live show? I have to answer my sister. She's such a sweet, sweet young woman. Okay, so where was I? Oh, I was talking about legacy. Oh, here we go. I printed this out. Legacy, the long-lasting impact of particular events, actions, etc., that took place in the past or of a person's life. He left a rich legacy of buildings that are both innovative, architectural creations, and genuine works of art. You know, some people are saying that what's his name? Steve Jobs is going to be, and Apple is going to be forgotten, wiped off the whole invention, the creation of Apple and the iPhone will be gone in 100 years. Steve Jobs. The long-lasting impact of particular events, actions, etc., that took place in the past or of a person's life. There is a very famous, what is it? Was it Genghis Khan? I don't know. He was a conqueror, and he had, I guess, the most land. Listen, I'm not a historian, as you can tell. He possessed the most land of a king, I don't know, king, ruler in all of the world. Is anybody up here? Oh, Genghis Khan. That's what I'm saying when I'm saying your legacy your legacy is going to be forgotten. And even in my own family, I have my grandmother, my father, my mother. I talk about that. They actually appear to me, from time to time, and I have conversations. But when I'm in another, this now I'm really going off. When I get to another dimension, that there's who's going to be, I'm really off the trail on this one. That phone call threw me off for a second. But the legacy, when I say legacy, this is my point. That is all ego. And I refuse to feed, fuel, give focus to, give light to the ego. I refuse. I made a point. Program for Unhappiness is on Amazon. In this book, I list 56 program behaviors, levels 1 through 3 that subtract from your happiness. It went international bestseller, Amazon bestseller. Of course, we know there is a formula for that. And then also in the book, I list 26 behaviors that add to happiness. So hold on a second here. That's the end of today's show. I want to thank you for listening. Reality Spirituality Radio is heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And
It's time to get real.
Not yet. Follow me on Twitter at RL Norrington. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Rebecca Norrington. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. YouTube channel, thank you, MD. YouTube channel is getting more subscribers and just having more views. I appreciate that. My first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, can be purchased on Amazon. I published that in 2014. And again, the latest book, Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. I highly recommend it. You will be triggered. Your buttons will be pushed, but it is nothing but the truth in here. Until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who the hell you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. You're a conscious energy, which is always evolving, always changing, always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind by accepting yourself in every moment. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It is about the journey. And Guy Finley says, the feel is real. All the emotions are real, but the why is a lie. And just practice being mindful of the stories and the thoughts. Are they true? Can I say 100% of the time? They're not. They're one perspective. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, happiness specialist, Rebecca L. Norrington. And remember, happiness is a practice skill. And the more you practice, the more peace you're going to find. Your experience in every moment reflects on what you practice. Cue it up, right.
It's time to get real. It's a new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one. You got a question for RL? It's time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we get real. Time to get down. You gonna feel good now.
Okay, and stream.